Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. We are continuing our review on Hilchos Sukkos, and the question was asked, if I left my Sukkah and I returned or entered another Sukkah, do I need to make another bracha leishav basukkah? So the answer is, these halachas are discussed in Siman Tuf Reish Lamed Tes. In the Alter Rebbe Shulchan Aruch, it starts in Siman Tuf Reish Lamed Tes, Seif Yud Gimel. So, the guidelines to this, the Alter Rebbe says this very clearly. The Alter Rebbe says that really a person could sit, if a person, use a frank expression, if a person parks himself in the sukkah, eats and sleeps and does what people used to do back then, 7 days in the sukkah, sleeps, davens, learns in the sukkah, then he would make one leishav basukkah and be there all 7 days. But if he leaves, and he leaves to do mundane things, then there would be a hefsek. What would be considered a hefsek? And he would have to make a new leishav basukkah. Listen to what the Alter Rebbe says in Sif Yud Gimel. Ba'ameh dvarim amurim. When does a person make a hefsek and has to make a new bracha? Kishiyatza min sukkah, when he leaves a sukkah, ben gmar achila rishona, from the end, at the end of a first finished meal, lahaschala achila achrona, there is a finish of a last meal and the beginning of a new meal. V'shah sham chutz l'sukkah, and it wasn't a quick run out and came right back. There was some time outside. V'lei chazar la'alta, he didn't run right, just run out, run back in. Ella, he was outside la'achar shah ushtayim, an hour or two, and he came back into the sukkah. That makes a hefsek. Or afilu im chazar la'altar, even if he came right back. So why did he leave the sukkah? Because when he left, he didn't think he would be coming back. Ela b'shebishah sheyotza min hasukkah hayadaitoi lisheis harbe chutz l'sukkah. When he left the sukkah, he thought he's going for a long time. He didn't have intention to come back. V'shalei lachzer l'sukkah la'altar. She'oz, at that point, ein habracha shebirach al achira rishayna, because then the bracha that he made the first time when he sat in the sukkah doesn't include, will not paiteres achilas achrayna. When you make a bracha leishav basukkah, it extends for the whole period of time you will be sitting in the sukkah until you break it. So if you leave and it's an extended time that you leave, it's over. If you break it for a moment, for a hefsek, but your mind is to come right back, the previous leishav basukkah still covers it. So if you're just out and come right back, the first meal, still that bracha of leishav basukkah still covers it. If you go out for a shah or shtayim, or you didn't have in mind to come right back, and even if you came back, you broke that hefsek. That is what you have to realize when you have to make a new bracha. Avo, however, im loy hifsik beineim biyitzia gemura, if you did not make a drastic going out, shaloi lachzer la'alta, you didn't say, okay, I'm not going back in. I just went out for a minute to speak to somebody or something like that. Ain't tzarich levarech al achila achrayna. Even if I go back to eat again something, I don't have to make another leishav basukkah. Very interesting. So here you see what's the guideline. Obviously, you know that this will depend what you're continuing to eat anyways, because that's a different ball game. Not on every type of food. You anyways have to make a bracha on leishav basukkah. That's one issue. When you leave the sukkah, and even when you leave the sukkah and you go back to the sukkah, it will depend where you're going to, which sukkah you're going to. Are you going back to your sukkah? Or you're going back to another sukkah, to someone else's sukkah. Or even if you're going back to your sukkah, to another one of your sukkahs. It could be you own a couple of sukkahs in different apartments. You have different homes. you're going from one of your sukkahs to another sukkah. It doesn't make a difference. Does the traveling, the walking from place to place, make up a hefsek? So this too is in the Shulchan Aruch. The Alter Rebbe goes on to say in the next sif, in Sif Yudalid, v'chol this hefsek business is k'shenichnas l'oisa sukkah shabirich ba b'achila rishayna. This is only, the way I defined it is if he goes back to the original sukkah that he began to eat. Avolim nichnas l'sukkah acheres, if he walks into another sukkah, afilu hi ba'oisa chatzar, even if it's in the same courtyard, oisa chatzar smucha l'sukkah shabirich ba, even if it's in the same courtyard adjacent to the sukkah that you just ate, and you made a bracha leisha b'sukkah, in your sukkah, if you sit down and eat in the other person's sukkah, and it's a type of food that you could make a bracha leisha b'sukkah on, you could make another bracha in that person's sukkah. Kishareitza lecho b'sukkah zu. If you're going to eat something, let's say a piece of cake or bread, if you're going to wash in that sukkah, you make again davar. If it's a type of food that you can't eat out of the sukkah, tzarich lachzor levarech leishav b'sukkah. Even though, which is a very big chiddush, even though that the type, you don't have to make another hamaitzi or another bayar min hazaynis, because the bayar min hazaynis you had it in mind on the last bracha you made. You have the sheer ikul is still there. Still, the birchas hanenim is covered from the previous time you made. The leishav b'sukkah didn't cover the last time you made it in the previous sukkah. Now this is a very big chiddush. Not everybody agrees with this. The Mishnah Brura says that going from sukkah to sukkah, he holds like other opinions. The halicha is a hefsek, and he says the halicha is a hefsek, and you should not make a bracha. Halicha is not considered a hefsek, and you should not make a bracha. Here the Alter Rebbe says the halicha is a hefsek, and you can make a bracha. So the ways of machlekes are poskim. According to the Alter Rebbe, you're allowed to make a bracha even if it's in the same courtyard. Now, so according to this, what would be the din if you're eating your meal, and you give a look at the clock, and you see that you're missing. It's getting late. You got to daven mincha. Now mincha takes 15-20 minutes. So you have in mind that I'm going, but I'm coming back. So it's not shah or ishtayim as the Alter Rebbe says it. It's not an hour or two. So this is actually a machlekes haposkim. If you leave for mincha or mincha and ma'ariv, is that considered a hefsek enough that if you come back you have to make another leishav b'sukkah? According to the Magen Avram, especially, the question is if you don't make a berachas hamazon in between, if there's 72 minutes pass, where anyways the sheer ikul. See, you can't combine, you can't mix the two issues. There is the sheer ikul of the berachas hamazon time that you anyways after 72 minutes. During that period of time, you have to make the berachas hamazon. That's one issue. Then there's the second issue that you made a leishav b'sukkah. Whether or not that leishav b'sukkah covers the next time you eat, that's a separate issue. Here, the Shulchan Aruch discusses, I'm in the middle of a meal, and I already made a leishav b'sukkah. I left for a period of time. Could I come back? And that leishav b'sukkah covers it. So the Magen Avram says that when you come back for after mincha and ma'ariv, it's considered, according to the Magen Avram, you make a second bracha, because the halicha to shul, it's considered a hefsek. According to other opinions, they say it's not considered a hefsek, and you don't make a second bracha of leishav b'sukkah. L'maisa, they say like this: if it's in between meals, if you already finished the first meal, you made a berachas hamazon, you finished the meal, because you made a berachas hamazon, and you come back and you want to eat something new, then when you come back, you do say a leishav b'sukkah. If, however, it's toich kedei suda, if it's in the middle of a meal, then you if he's just continuing his meal, you lo yivarach shenis leishav b'sukkah. He should not say a second time leishav b'sukkah. But obviously, it's best that not to leave the middle of a meal to daven mincha ma'ariv and come back, because you have this discussion if it's how it should be done.